Hello everyone. So continuing on with art journaling in simple steps, the next thing that I enjoy doing is stencils with ink pads. I use color dusters, but you can use the stenciling brushes. They work just as well. And I have used makeup brushes that I've gotten at the Dollar Tree. They work as well. You want to make sure when you're using brushes that you stick with the same color so that you're not contaminating colors. I keep all my color dusters I've got one for purple, one for blue, one for teal, one for red, and I stick with the same color because a lot of the inks, they do stay on the bristles, so you'll get weird colors if you start mixing them. So I've got my signatures out here, and I've got some stencils, and I thought that I would just play around. And one thing that I like the makeup brushes or the makeup sponges. They are my favorite. Let's see. Let's use a blue. I'm just using Distress inks. You can use any inks that you've got. And I was going to use a makeup sponge, but I guess I've started doing the duster first. Add some color to the duster and just rub it through the stencil. See how this works. Don't usually do this. I usually use a makeup sponge. We'll see what happens with this one. Gives a nice light color, and I don't want just one, so I'm going to do it again. Sorry if I'm shaking the table. I still have not figured out where the table is connected to the camera rod. It's not touching in any place. The camera is actually attached to the shelf that's next door. So I don't know why every time I move this table that it shakes. It didn't used to. And I've been all up and down trying to figure out what's touching so that continues to shake my camera. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will eventually figure it out. And then one more down here. 3 big circles. This way, and then I think I'll use the little circles with the makeup sponge so we can see the difference in the same color. Stenciling can be fun. I know a lot of people don't like stenciling. I don't worry too much about stenciling. I like imperfection. So I like it when my stencils aren't absolutely perfect. So let me put the duster down and get a makeup sponge. And I do like stenciling with ink. I do stencil with acrylic paint, and that is coming as well, but we're just going to stencil today with ink pads. And if it's something that you don't like doing, you might want to practice a little bit. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't turn out. You can cover it up with paint or some kind of collage and book text, whatever. Don't have to worry about it. But you can get some practice in. See, I like that. I like the way it looks. But if you don't enjoy it, then don't do it. Art journaling is all about enjoying the process. If it's something that stresses you, you don't like the looks of, you just don't enjoy it, go on to something else. Life's too short to do something that you don't like. You don't have to. And one more. So I have an odd number of small circles. That's kind of cool, like that. Let's go on to do something else. All right, what else do we have? Not a whole lot. We need to glue some more stuff down in here. Let's see. Let's just put some pattern on this one. Actually, let me use some red. I'm going to use this makeup sponge. I've used the makeup sponge in red only. I think I need the other red. This one's just a little bit more juicy. And I squeeze the bristles together to make them a little bit easier, a little bit firmer to get the inks on the little tips of the bristles. And then rub the color on. Kind of like that. Oh, that turns out pretty well. Let me do it down here. One thing that I do like to do with stencils, I like to layer stencils. Sometimes with the same color, sometimes with different colors. And I'm just going to put a little bit over here. No stress. And then I'm going to use this one and a makeup sponge, the same color, and layer them together. This one I have to really hold so that it doesn't move. All the little tiny zigzags, they move. So I have to make sure that they stay in one place. I like that. Let me put some zigzags down here. Kind of overlap the other stenciling. Maybe just a little bit over here. And some over here. Don't want it to be too symmetrical. I did it sideways on that side. So maybe a little bit that way. And maybe a little bit this way. And then, still got some more spaces. Do I want to use this one or should I use a different one? Let's see here. What do I have that's handy? I've got this one. This one's kind of in the middle of both of them. The kind of design. And let me use a different color. I don't know, a different ink pad will give me a different color. And maybe a different sponge too, just in case. I want the color to be just slightly different, I hope. And this one doesn't go through the stencil very well. The stencil's pretty thick, so it's a little more difficult to get that makeup sponge to the paper. Maybe just a little bit here. And maybe some polka dots for the other little bits. See, I like to layer different stencils together. I don't know why. I like the looks of it. And some polka dots over here. Maybe just a couple over here. Have fun with it. It's a little wild and crazy. Let's go to a different signature and see what else we can do. We have blue here. I probably need to wipe the inks off my... That's another technique to use with stencils. Let's just do that. Should we do it on this page? Might as well. All right. So I am going to put some ink on that stencil, like that. This is the distress ink. It moves with water. And then I'm going to put it on my page with a wet baby wipe and move that ink off the stencil. It probably needs some more ink now. So I like that one. I like that one a lot. Just adds a bit of color, a little bit of pattern. Clean off your stencils on top of your page. It'll add a layer, a little bit of interest. It's kind of fun. Clean up my mess just a little bit. Distress inks, I get those on my fingers a lot. And then maybe a little bit of pattern with some black on top. Art journaling, it's all about layers. Layers are what make your pages magic. The more layers you get on, the more interesting they get to be. So when you do art journaling in simple steps, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you are really just adding layers onto the layers and really making them interesting, making your page really cool. Slowly, a little bit of interest, a little bit more, something else. And it really does just make a big difference. Just a little bit of something. May not seem like you're adding a lot, but it makes a really, really big difference. I'm trying to get this one pretty dark for the corners. Oh yeah, I want to get this corner pretty dark too. Kind of giving it a frame. Like that. Yep. And maybe some right up here. Like that. And I can't leave this one corner over here with absolutely nothing. So here we go. Overdoing it again. But I'm having fun. And that's what it's all about. Just doing something. Enjoying the process. It's getting to be a little crazy page there. And that's okay. It's okay that I've gone overboard again. See if I can clean up some of my mess. It's okay. It's a lot of fun just to do a little bit of something. Alright, so I haven't added any yellow. Let me use a stencil brush. And do I have another stencil to use? Triangles. Let's see what happens with the triangles. I do like the stencil brushes. They work really well for stenciling on paper. The trick is to pounce up and down. I kind of smoosh, and that tends to sometimes make distorted stenciling. If you don't like that, then pounce away. That looks pretty nice. Let me just do that on the other side too. Let's have some fun. Not going to worry about what it turns out like. It's just the process. That's all we're learning, is how to enjoy the process. And once you start enjoying the process of just doing something, it shows in your pages. It really does. And if you don't like what you see, it doesn't matter. You had fun doing it. That's what art journaling is. Having fun doing something. See, I like that. I like that. Just like that. And continue on for as long as you want to continue on. Repeat some of the steps that you've already done. Add some more paint. Do something else to some of the other pages. Have some fun. I think I need to let some of these pages dry. Got some of them too wet. And if you know, they're going to bleed through to the other side. It's part of the adventure. It's just an adventure. Have fun. Did I get stenciling in all the signatures? I've got some in that one. I don't think I did any in this one. So I'm going to have to do something. something. I think I want to do something over this paint. Let's get another sponge out and use this tumbled glass to add some stenciling over the paint and see what happens. See if we can see this ink on top of the paint. We'll do a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll come back and do some more stenciling later, maybe with some acrylic paint. Have fun with it. Don't stress that your stencils are distorted or they're not perfect. That's just part of their charm. It's more of your page being unique. Embrace it. It's a good thing. Thanks for watching.